Hello viewers, welcome to Windows of Opportunity's first episode of The Difference. I'm your host Sharlotte. The Difference highlights the incredible accomplishments today's youth are making. For the first episode, I will be interviewing Kate, a children's mental health advocate. Windows of Opportunity, WOO, is a non-profit agency which aims to create a shift in today's youth through leadership. For all information on Windows, follow the link below. Hi Kate, welcome to our show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
Good. You're a senior in college now, right?
I am. I'm a senior at St. John's University.
Okay, and what are you majoring in?
Psychology.
Psychology? Now, during your middle school years, I know you went through a traumatic experience regarding a certain mental illness. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. In middle school, I started to have severe anxiety. So my mental illness kind of snowballed from there, with the anxiety getting worse, starting from my middle school years.
Okay, and what is it called, like this anxiety? Is it just general or like are you specific?
I have had so many different diagnoses from so many different therapists. So I guess it's a generalized anxiety disorder.
Okay.
And probably panic disorder.
Okay. Can you describe some of these panic episodes?
Sure. Well, okay, a panic attack is so traumatic. Each and every single one. And it's like, it literally feels like you're having a heart attack.
And then what places these occur? Like the classroom? I know I had mine, like they usually happen in the classroom, like randomly, when I'm out with my friends. It was pretty bad. For you,
It was completely random, which was so hard about it, is that I wouldn't be able to predict it. So it was in the classroom. I couldn't go to movies with my friends because I would have panic attacks there. I actually stopped going to school because I had them in the classroom so often that I just stopped going to school.
And this carried all the way on until now, this teenager?
Yeah.
Or you got it under control?
Until now.
Until now?
Until now. I mean, it's still, I think mental illness is really something that you can't fully get rid of. It's something that stays with you.
Do you have any rituals? Like, I know there's the, breathe in, breathe out, which I don't think it ever works, really. But
I mean, you have the techniques that therapists tell you to use. There's the breathe in and hold it and breathe out and everything. But in that moment, especially when you're having those panic attacks and it's so overwhelming, nothing really helps.
This happened like when you were in middle school? Is that why you were in school also, or just?
It started happening in middle school.
And did you have like counselors helping you, or was the system kind of let you down?
The system let me down. Overall, I mean, without getting into long stories and without getting into everything, I would say the system let me down completely, and still to this day lets me down.
Wow. And as you want to go on being a psychologist, right? Is that your goal?
That's my goal.
Okay.
That's my goal. I want to be a child and adolescent psychologist.
Okay, so you're hoping to fix, obviously, the system or hopefully improve it for those children.
I'm hoping to change something in the system because from what I've personally seen and experienced and from what others have told me, the system is broken.
Yeah.
It's not working. It's not helpful.
How did you deal with that? I mean, you have high school to deal with, and then entering college. How did you involve yourself in any programs? Get any therapists, or?
Well, I had a number of therapists, been a number of hospitals and everything. But I think until I got to high school, I mean, middle school was just a nightmare. But when I got to high school, I kind of started to. It didn't change that I have a mental illness, but me feeling less isolated changed because I did find a program called Windows of Opportunity.
Okay.
I did, and it's a miracle that I found it, and I kind of started to open up more about my illness and find people who did understand and experience what I was going through, so it made me feel less alone. And I kind of got involved in kind of educating others about mental illness and about the system that is America's mental health system. And I ended up presenting a workshop for a conference through Windows of Opportunity. I presented, I created my own workshop and presented to teens a workshop on suicide, self-injury, eating disorders, and depression. And doing this workshop kind of gave me the chance to educate others on mental illness and to kind of tell others, like, hey, like, you're not alone. Like, we have this workshop for a reason because millions of young people are going through this. So that kind of pushed me to go forward through the years and kind of pushed my way into college.
So at such a young age, you were a leader in dealing with this problem. I mean, you did workshops and everything.
Yeah, I think having to go through all of that at such a young age kind of made me mature faster and made me want to make a difference in other youth's lives.
You know, you are really making a difference, and when you want to make a difference at least. And I think even with those workshops, you are little by little making a difference. There'll be more of a
I hope so.
Are you still involved in Windows of Opportunity?
I am still involved with Windows of Opportunity. That's definitely something that changed my life so much that I can't not be involved with it. So I am still involved, and I am still presenting workshops, you know, on suicide and depression and mental illnesses. So yes, I am still involved with Windows.
You still think you'll still be even after you get your degree and everything?
Oh yeah. I think it's something that I just can't let go of. It's that part of my high school years that was a good part, that was a light in all the darkness. So it's something I don't want to let go of.
Well, this isn't your first interview about this issue, right? I heard you
it's
had a radio interview in LA. Can you tell us about that?
I did. It's for an LA radio talk station. It's called Bipolar Nation Radio.
Okay.
And I was kind of interviewed the same way I am now about my mental health issues that started when I was very young.
Great. I mean, you're getting out there already, you know, even before.
I'm trying.
I'm trying. Okay, I have 3 final questions to ask you. The first one is, what kind of life would you like to lead?
I'd like to lead a life that I'd like to lead my days kind of like advocating for childhood mental illness and for the treatment of childhood mental illness. So I'd like to lead a life that's kind of filled with advocacy of mental illness.
Right. Okay. And what kind of world would you like to live in?
A world that has a better mental health system, and of course that a world that doesn't have such a stigma that mental illness does have.
Right. A world with no anxiety.
Or a world with no anxiety, that'd be ideal. But if I can't get that, then a world that does have treatment for that anxiety. Good treatment.
Yeah, and what would you do to make that happen?
Well, I'm in school right now trying to get my psychology degree, so I have a long way to go from undergrad.
Right.
But as for now, I'll continue to call psychiatric facilities that I feel aren't treating the child with the mental illness with the care that they should be receiving. I'll continue to call those facilities. I'll continue to call CPS workers to let them know of these children's cases.
Right.
Anything like that. So I'll continue to advocate for these children and their families. And once I become a psychologist, then hopefully I'll be able to directly help these children. So that's what I'm aiming for.
Good, I like that.
Thank you.
Hey, you've been through a lot. I mean, starting in middle school, you found out you had this generalized anxiety. You work all through that through high school and then college, and now you're advocating, you know, better mental wellness, you know. Okay, you are the perfect example of what it is to make a difference.
Thank you. Thank you.
This has been the first episode of The Difference. Thanks for tuning in, viewers, and watch us next time when we interview 19-year-old founder and director of Short Stack Modeling Agency, Olivia Mignon. See ya!